meditate on the Divine Master and pray for peace and happiness of the whole mankind. Shanti Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Stapakaya ca dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Stapakaya ca dharmasya Sarvadharma Swarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namaha. Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrityormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God incarnate. Let us pray to Him to lead us from the unreal to the real, to lead us from the darkness of ignorance to the light of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. We are taking topics from the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, which are a great treasure for all the spiritual seekers. How Sri Ramakrishna has taught very clearly and in a very practical way. So everything about Sri Ramakrishna is practical. It's not simply theory. So he would lay stress upon spiritual practices and disciplines, and he always stresses us to dwell upon spiritual ideas, and everything will be all right. So we are discussing profound teachings of Sri Ramakrishna. Today's topic I have selected, granting spiritual awakening. See, the incarnations come with special mission out of infinite compassion towards humanity. So, when they come, they try to live as much as possible as all of us are living. At the same time, they show their real personality. That means, though we are all born in this world, as human beings, still we can rise up to divine level and realize our infinite spiritual dimension. At times people get confused about spirituality. It's all because of so many reasons. Well, we can just say in a general way, As long as your mind is impure, you will not be able to understand spiritual life properly. You will not be able to practice them. Well, how every action of the great masters are very profound. Their look, their talks, their touch have tremendous impact on the people who are fortunate to come into contact with great masters. Well, we have got tremendous record of all the people who met Sri Ramakrishna and how Sri Ramakrishna really, literally transformed them into higher life. And how nicely Sri Ramakrishna has given spiritual matters in the gospel. Should you not look into them properly and practice them before the life goes away? We should practice. We have seen in the life of Sri Ramakrishna how varieties of personalities were coming to see Sri Ramakrishna. In the gospel itself we find so many dialogues between Sri Ramakrishna and various scholars, religious leaders, social reformers, attorneys, all sets of people, all types of people. They are all recorded in the gospel. If you just read them, how nice it is. It not only encourages you to live a spiritual life, it is also relaxing. If you read Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, you won't feel any tension. The language is extremely simple and it runs like a story. The relationships of some of the personalities who met Sri Ramakrishna cause occasional amusement, arouse a sense of wonderment, and sometimes even dismay. One such person is well known of that time. His name was Dr. Mahendralal Sarkar, whose relation with Sri Ramakrishna stimulates different emotions in the reader. Dr. Sarkar, he was a renowned homeopath of Calcutta. He was brought to Shampukor by Sri Ramakrishna's disciples to examine and treat their master. Dr. Sarkar was a well-known doctor of that time. He was the family physician for Mathurnath Bishwas, who once had him treat Sri Ramakrishna too. The doctor recognized the patient on his arrival at Shampukor. He could immediately say, "Oh, I have seen him before." Sri Ramakrishna was suffering from cancer of the throat. Dr. Sarkar, not the first to attend on Sri Ramakrishna, diagnosed the disease, declared it incurable, and yet tried various drugs on him. Sri Ramakrishna also knew very well that this particular disease which he was suffering from was incurable, as that was how the mother had willed it. He was not bothering about that. He, however, understood the good intentions of his disciples to get him treated and submitted himself to Dr. Sarkar like a good patient. He kept the doctor informed of all his symptoms and took the medicines as prescribed. At the same time, Sri Ramakrishna, Bhavaroga Bhishak, who tried to cure Dr. Sarkar of his disease of worldliness. Dr. Sarkar, like most worldly people, was unaware of his illness and resisted every attempt of Sri Ramakrishna to cure him. This made the drama very interesting. Sri Ramakrishna is the patient, Dr. Sarkar is the homeopathic doctor treating Sri Ramakrishna for his cancer on the throat. And Sri Ramakrishna is a doctor treating Mahendra, Dr. Mahendra Sarkar, for his worldly disease, for his disease of worldliness. In one case, Sri Ramakrishna knew that he is having the throat cancer. In the other case, Dr. Sarkar is totally unaware of his disease. He thinks he's totally okay. That's the interesting part. Dr. Sarkar was born on November 2nd, 1833. Right from a very young age, Dr. Sarkar was attracted towards the study of science and believed that the medical school would provide him the right atmosphere for it. He was very studious and a brilliant student. It was a scientific attitude which made him turn to homeopathy, although he was initially trained in the allopathic system of medicine. He had the courage of conviction to declare that there was scope for different modes of treatment. He once told M. Master Mahashay how people discouraged and criticized him means Sarkar, for it. Dr. Sarkar was instrumental in starting the Indian Association for the Cultivation of Science to propagate scientific knowledge and to conduct research. It was perhaps the first such society to be started in India. Dr. Sarkar spent substantially from his own pocket to keep the association going, and he was helped and encouraged by great persons of that time like Keshav Chandra Sen, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Jai Krishna Mukherjee and others. Dr. Sarkar was just 2 years older than Sri Ramakrishna. We find both of them, while they talk, they were using the term Tumi. Tumi means you, but not the word apni. That's also having the same meaning, but it's used in a more respectful way. Tumi is used when you are very close friend. They use Tumi. There's a subtle difference between Tumi and apni. Generally, apni is used for people of great stature and higher status and so on. But anyway, Sri Ramakrishna and Sarkar, whenever they talked to each other, they would always address themselves as Tumi. Dr. Sarkar seems to look upon Sri Ramakrishna more as a friend than as a holy man. At each encounter, there used to be some pleasant banter. That means they will have some kind of humor, teasing themselves, not serious, in a light way. Dr. Sarkar, however, was never disrespectful, and Sri Ramakrishna had noticed it. The doctor was highly attracted to his patient, that is towards Sri Ramakrishna, like a small magnet to a large one, to use Sri Ramakrishna's simile. Dr. Sarkar was unable to sleep at night. Why? Because he was worrying about his patient, Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna once remarked about Dr. Sarkar, look, I can't ask Dr. Sarkar to meditate on me, but he is doing it all the same, of his own accord. Oh, what blessedness! That means Sri Ramakrishna is blessing him indirectly. In a way, he is trying to just purify him in so many ways. So Dr. Sarkar's mind is now full of Sri Ramakrishna in his mind. Dr. Sarkar also had the humility to accept that knowledge is derived not only from studying books, but also from scholarship. He therefore acknowledged that Sri Ramakrishna could not have acquired his knowledge by reading books, but he did not understand nor accept that Sri Ramakrishna's knowledge was superior to his. Yet, it was the unlettered Sri Ramakrishna who pointed out irrationalities in Dr. Sarkar's statements. Dr. Sarkar once said that a child caught whooping cough because it was fed the milk of an ass drenched in rain. Sri Ramakrishna said, how strange. It is like saying that a man has an acid stomach because he passed in his couch under a tamarind tree. It was doctor's love for knowledge which stood in the way of his accepting bhakti. We find many interesting conversations between him and his patient on this issue. Some of the references are there in the gospel. You can enjoy them reading. Visiting him at his house once, M saw Dr. Sarkar feeding goldfish and sparrows. Dr. Sarkar told Master Maharshi mockingly that the creatures were not accepting the feed because they did not have knowledge but only bhakti. He was just making a mockery. When Yam reported this to Sri Ramakrishna, Sri Ramakrishna was quick to point out that the doctor meant the knowledge of the physical world, the knowledge of science, meaning thereby that the doctor was unable to differentiate between relative truth and the ultimate truth. But he also told him that Dr. Sarkar's faith was growing. A serious point of contention between the doctor and the disciples of Sri Ramakrishna was the doctrine of incarnation. Dr. Sarkar didn't believe in it. It is not known to what extent he was influenced by Brahmanism. It would be surprising if an intellectual like him was not acquainted with the ideology of that contemporary reformist religious movement. He, however, might not have been an active member of the Brahma Samaj, for otherwise a man of his caliber would have been definitely counted among its leading lights. He did not appear to be a practicing Hindu either, because Yam said once that the doctor did not believe in ritualistic worship. Dr. Sarkar, while professing his love for truth, yet like a typical intellectual, refused to examine a new or an alien concept. Sri Ramakrishna once laughingly said, "It is not mentioned in his science that God can take human form. So how can he believe in it?" However, Sri Ramakrishna gently told Sarkar that it was not necessary to believe in divine incarnations, and it was enough if one believed that God existed. Later, he became more assertive and told Sarkar that it was not possible with one's little intellect to understand all that. One should listen to holy men and great souls who have realized God. He seemed to hint that Sarkar should listen to him. Sarkar naturally did not accept that Sri Ramakrishna was a divine incarnation. Yet he had in fact developed an almost maternal attitude towards Sri Ramakrishna, which we call in Sanskrit Vatsalya Bhava. However, Dr. Sarkar did not realize that it was a recognized form of bhakti. He felt that Ramakrishna's disciples were spoiling him, whom he considered a guileless child of nature. Girish Ghosh, with his characteristic vehemence, tried to make Sarkar see their point. Narendra, Vivekananda, who himself was yet to accept that Sri Ramakrishna was an incarnation, sounded almost apologetic and admitted, "I don't say he is God. What I am saying is that he is a godlike man." At every step, Dr. Sarkar argued with Sri Ramakrishna. The patient, Sri Ramakrishna, knew the doctor's malady. He told the doctor that one who had tasted the divine bliss would not insist that he was right and others wrong. It was the attachment to woman and gold that came between a person and divine bliss. He told Sarkar sharply to give up this attachment. The doctor once teased Sri Ramakrishna that he too was in need of golden woman. And Sri Ramakrishna later on said to M that the doctor did not understand his exalted state of mind. It was indeed a pity that after such an intimate contact, Sarkar failed to understand the true greatness of Sri Ramakrishna. Did Sarkar ever accept Sri Ramakrishna as an incarnation? We shall never know, for his exit from the gospel is quite abrupt. After Sri Ramakrishna was shifted to Kasipur, Dr. Rajendra Datta, Dr. Sarkar's mentor in homeopathy, expressed a desire to use another medicine, and Sarkar deferred to the request. We met Sarkar only once after this. Sri Ramakrishna, the divine physician, had, however, administered his medicine to Dr. Sarkar, and he was sure of its effectiveness. Sri Ramakrishna had noticed that the doctor had already changed a great deal and predicted that Sarkar would in course of time have spiritual awakening. Using, as was his wont, a telling simile, he said, when the trunk of a tree is cut almost to the other side, the tree falls down of itself. I shall not have to tell him very much. The tree did fall down on its own, and gloriously too. Sri Ramakrishna had once told the doctor that faith was essential for God realization, and Dr. Sarkar, in his last days, had unfailing faith in God. He told his son that no one should weep at the time of his passing away, for he was going to a higher realm. He bade a cheerful farewell to his friends who had assembled there and passed away fully conscious. Thus ended the 70 years of a staunch rationalist whose innate faith in God was kindled by his contact with the divine incarnation, Sri Ramakrishna. The doctor, Dr. Sarkar, came to cure Sri Ramakrishna, but was himself cured, and that ultimately is the mission of an incarnation. The Bhavaroga Vaidya. Sri Ramakrishna is called Bhavaroga Vaidya, the doctor for treating the worldly disease. So many people, they got spiritual awakening coming in touch with Sri Ramakrishna, who was a personification of spirituality. Everybody would feel tremendous love towards him. Whatever religion a person may be following, he would feel intensely drawn towards Sri Ramakrishna. They could experience the divine love coming from Sri Ramakrishna in so many ways. So, Sri Ramakrishna is now present in the form of his teachings. Little bit of sincerity and little bit of effort will make us drawn towards Sri Ramakrishna. Coming to Sri Ramakrishna, you lose nothing but gain everything. You get everything. Just you have to connect yourself to Sri Ramakrishna in a proper way. Don't be dogmatic. Don't be fanatic. Don't entertain any ill feeling towards anyone. Always be mindful of your level of purity and pay attention to your spiritual practices. Everything comes all right. And you will see how gloriously you will be blessed. And you feel tremendous fulfillment in coming to Sri Ramakrishna. Just I happened to read Dr. Sarkar's episode, so I thought it would be very nice to discuss about this dialogue between Sri Ramakrishna and Sarkar. How this holy contact, association with holy, transformed the most worldly person, the typical worldly person, Dr. Sarkar, who considered himself most wise and most intelligent. How he was totally transformed. So, though in the beginning he was agnostic, towards the end he became totally transformed. He was full of faith in the divine, and all through his life he was just thinking deeply about Sri Ramakrishna. His approach to Sri Ramakrishna was that of maternal attitude, mother's love towards the child. It reminds me the episode of Yashoda and Krishna. Yashoda also did not know Lord Krishna was the Lord of the universe. But finally, she was blessed by the vision, by the cosmic vision shown by Krishna. So, we must feel highly grateful. At least we have come in touch with these spiritual ideas. We are reading Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. What else is required? Everything is prepared. It is there. You have to take it. You have to do it. Cooking is done. Only eating is to be done. If you don't eat, how can you get nourishment? If you don't practice, how can you get enlightenment? So coming to Sri Ramakrishna means you must be practical and you must not waste your time anymore in useless things. Preserve the time and use it in a proper way. That's how we will be able to maintain our spiritual level, and all these worldly things, they vanish. You don't have to worry them. That's the way we should tackle. Otherwise, it's not easy to organize your desires. The desires, you try to control, they try to control you. So, you have to adapt some method. Janaka was a Jnani. He attained knowledge by means of his sadhana. But Shukadev was knowledge itself. Page 750. Girish said, Master said, Shukadev did not attain knowledge through sadhana. Like Shukadev, Narad also had the knowledge of Brahman. But he retained bhakti in order to teach people. Prahlada sometimes assumed the attitude of I am he, sometimes that of a servant of God, and sometimes that of his child. Hanuman also was like that. All may wish for such a lofty state, but all cannot attain it. Some bamboos are hollower than others. Some are more solid inside. A devotee said, you say that your spiritual experiences are for others to refer to. Tell us what we should do. Master said, if you want to realize God, then you must cultivate intense dispassion. Very clear. You must renounce immediately what you feel to be standing in your way. Clear. You should not put it off till the future. Lust and gold is the obstruction. The mind must be withdrawn from it. One must not be slow and lazy. A man was going to bathe. He had his towel on his shoulder. His wife said to him, you are worthless. You are getting old and still you cannot give up some of your habits. You cannot live a single day without me. Wife is telling. But look at that man. What a renouncer he is. Husband said, why? What has he done? Wife, he has 16 wives and he is renouncing them one by one. You will never be able to renounce. Husband said, renouncing his wives one by one, you are crazy. He won't be able to renounce. If a man wants to renounce, does he do it little by little? Wife said smilingly, still he is better than you. Then husband said, you are silly. You don't understand. He can't renounce, but I can. See, here I go. The master continued, that's called intense renunciation. No sooner did the man discriminate than he renounced. He went away with the towel on his shoulder. He did not turn back to settle his worldly affairs. He didn't even look back at his home. He who wants to renounce needs great strength of mind. He must have a daredevil attitude like a dacoit's. Before looting a house, the dacoits shout, kill, murder, loot. Cultivate devotion and love of God and so pass your days. What else can you do? When Krishna went away, Yashoda became insane with grief and visited Radha. Radha was moved by her sorrow and appeared before her as Adya Shakti. She said, my child, ask a boon of me. Yashoda replied, Mother, what else shall I ask of you? Bless me that I may serve Krishna alone with my body, mind and speech, that I may behold his devotees with these eyes, that I may go with these feet to the place where his divine sport is manifested, that I may serve him and his devotees with these hands, and that I may devote all my sense organs to his service alone. As Sri Ramakrishna uttered these words, he was about to go into ecstasy. Suddenly he exclaimed, Kali, the embodiment of destruction. No, Nitya Kali, my eternal divine mother. With great difficulty he restrained himself. He was starting to say more about Yashoda when Mahendra Mukherjee arrived. Mahendra and his younger brother Priya had been visiting the master for some time. Mahendra owned a flour mill and other business. His brother was an engineer. Both the brothers engaged people to manage their affairs and therefore had considerable leisure. Mahendra was 36 or 37 and his brother 2 years younger. Besides their country home at Kedeti, they had a house at Bagbazar, Calcutta. A young devotee named Hari accompanied them on their visits to Sri Ramakrishna. Hari was married but greatly devoted to the master. Mahendra and Hari had not visited Dakshineshwar for a long time. They saluted Sri Ramakrishna. Master said, Hello, why haven't you visited Dakshineshwar for so long? Mahendra said, Sir, I have been away from Calcutta. I was in Kedati. Master said, You have no children, you don't serve anybody, and still you have no leisure. Goodness gracious. The devotees remained silent. Mahendra was little embarrassed. Master said to Mahendra, Why am I saying all this to you? You are sincere and generous. You have love for God. Mahendra said, You are saying these words for my good. Master said smilingly, You see, we don't take any collection during the performance at our place. Jadu's mother says to me, Other sadhus always ask for money, but you don't. Worldly people feel annoyed if they have to spend money. We shall stop here. Any question? So, you are coming to Vedanta. That means you are going in the right track. That's what I can assure you. So Sri Ramakrishna means everything. Yeah. No, the Sarkar would not stay there for a long time. He would come and he would engage him in talking and then he would go away. I don't think whether he has seen Sri Ramakrishna in ecstasy. Yeah, once he did that. The point is, still he could not take it easily. So, persons like him should be treated in a different way as Sri Ramakrishna did. So he impressed upon him very indirectly and thoroughly. And finally he was transformed. I know another example I will tell you, is the time to say. Swami Yatishwaranandaji, the author of Meditation and Spiritual Life. He was the president of Bangalore Ashrama, where I joined. He initiated me. I was so happy to be with him. And he became the vice president of the Ramakrishna Order. He was a trustee of the Ramakrishna Mission. So he would go to Calcutta 4 times in a year. Every quarterly he would have to go to Calcutta for attending trustees meeting. So what happened was, he developed some kind of pain at the tip of the backbone. and so he wanted to get examined. They found out, they said it's worn out. But anyway, it was causing him little pain, so they prescribed belt for him to wear, and the special treatment they suggested that was available only in Calcutta. There's ultrasonic treatment, and Swamiji should have to go to Calcutta from Belur Math, take that treatment, and then he would come back like that. So as he stayed in Calcutta, he would go, as he would come to Belur Math, he would go to Calcutta and meet the doctor and take the treatment. And he was feeling relief, very expensive charges. And Swamiji told his secretary, pay him off, pay him off. So every time Yatishwanji would go there for the treatment, every time he has to pay. And but what happened was that doctor met him for quite a number of times. In that process, he became so drawn towards Yatishwanji. He began to like him, and he was feeling ashamed to take money. And he told, no, Swamiji doesn't have to pay. And then the secretary said, no, you should not say, because Swamiji has told me to give you. No, don't worry, I will handle the matter. Like that. And he was totally changed person. Not only that, he had only son. Now he is a Ramakrishna Mission monk. He has become it was amazing. So they just, by their personality, by their purity, they just transform the people. That's the beauty of the really evolved spiritual people. They do like that. They won't injure you, but by their own personality, they just convince you about the glory of spiritual life. Then the rest is to you to follow. Anyway, spiritual life is really a glorious life, undoubtedly. Any question? Any more? All the names say no. I could remember all of you. Thank you very much. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust raging furiously within. O name, steep down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its cup to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of his bliss, tasting his nectar at every step, bathing in his name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are said, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who find in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree. Take no honor to thyself, give honor to all. Chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame, as many times as I may be reborn. Grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant's separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years. When my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet let me be, in unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, Do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere, may all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good benefit all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy. May the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be freed from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.